Blessings, everyone, and thank you so much for joining on Yes on Mondays. I am so happy, completely uplifted. It's been amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, because we're building an amazing community of women and men in their lives that are now saying yes on Mondays. I am so pleased. This is only my fourth video, and so many people have liked the videos, they're subscribed, they're passing it along. So I believe that we are creating a movement, and it is, it's humbling, and I'm honored that you're taking time out of your schedule to tune in. And please do continue to digest this content that is always fresh, is always new, and I know that it's going to be edifying to your life. But also, please like this video, like the other ones if you haven't watched it yet, subscribe to this channel, and please click on the bell so you can receive notifications every time we have a new content. And guess what? We have a new content every single Monday.
Because you don't know who you're going to meet.
Previously, we talked about finding our purpose, and as a result of that, we're walking into the unknown. So even though we don't know what is going to happen in the next second, we should start preparing ourselves regardless. We don't have control of everything, but we can prepare ourselves. So let's just be clear, just because we don't know what is going to happen tomorrow, I'm not saying that we do not prepare or that we don't care about ourselves. I'm not saying that we shouldn't be ready, but we cannot try to control what we can't. When we release that burden, we can walk confidently into that unknown future. Let's remember that our purpose is linked to the way we are designed, and how we are all unique with God's given gifts. No one can take away that from us. No one. Some people get robbed from their purpose in life. Understanding that when we are facing difficulties in lives, some may be greater than others, but there's nothing impossible for God. The reality is that our life is a constant beginning. And as I mentioned previously, every day is an opportunity to be better than the prior day. If we start living our lives like that, we're gonna live a full life. I have examples of many women that have started new things at any age. Others know at age 50 that they have this entrepreneurial bone and they have started something new. So we're not singular. There are many faces of us. We can be daughters, we're friends, we're lovers. We are so many things at the same time. We're complex. So we can be engineers, but we can be decorators at the same time. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that awesome that nature that God has is given to us, and that we can use all these beautiful gifts and talents to the benefit of the world, and to also live our full lives? And guess what? Most of the time, the answer is right in front of our eyes, but we haven't embraced it. We dismiss it, or we let others dictate who we are. We have done that for way too long. I wanted to give you some questions to answer in your own time, and please do share here in the comments, what do you discover about you and your own purpose and these new beginnings when you are answering those questions? I love to use the example of asking questions, because that's the way that we reflect in our lives. Sometimes we imagine that you're asking a friend about an important decision that you have to make. You may have to move to another country, you may have to select new careers, you may have to move to another state, you may be facing a reality that it wasn't a reality just a minute ago, but it's now a reality. Things are constantly changing, and there is always an opportunity. Even in the most tragic cases, there is always a learning experience. There is always a learning opportunity. And there are things that we may not see in the natural, but sometimes there are things that are cooking in the spiritual. And I'm talking to everyone here, whether you believe or not, because there is a spiritual life and there is a natural life. And when we know that those things can be affected somehow and can affect who we are and what we do, that's when we start like really finding those answers that we're looking for, especially when we are starting something new. So again, there's always an opportunity for new beginnings, and every single day provide that opportunity. So whatever happened in the past, don't let that past dictate who you are now, especially when people love, I've seen it and I faced it. People love to point to your mistakes of the past. There are some people that are experts in really bringing back memories of you when you're trying to improve, when you're trying to move on. If you were someone that were completely careless with like credit card spending or shopaholic, or you did something, there will be always people that will be so happy to remind you of that bad past. So you know what? Yes, it's your past. You may not be able to erase it, but don't let anyone dictate what is your future. Nobody knows your future. God knows your future. And you can start making changes now and walking in faith and taking some steps that will dictate what your future is going to look like. You can plant today the seeds for a brighter future. So for the naysayers that are always trying to bring the past and trying to bring the things that you did bad in the past, you know what? Those people, they have no say. You have to believe and be courageous enough and be confident that you do have the power to start every single day. Whomever you were in the past, if you regret anything that you did in the past, you do have the opportunity to change that. And I will say that in the spiritual, the best way to start that new beginning is having a new life in Jesus Christ. And if you have never accepted, if you have never heard about Jesus Christ, I am here to help. Please send me a message. I'm more than happy to pray for you. But in the natural too, every single day you wake up, you have an opportunity to start a new thing. Anything that you have in your mind can become a reality, because every single day gives you an opportunity to start anew. And there are so many examples and inspirational people, especially women who have started things at any given age. Those who have the entrepreneurial mindset know what I'm talking about. I love the fact that we're not singular. There are multi-levels, multi-layers of us. We are so many things at once, and men tend to say, "Oh, women are so complicated. Don't even get there." But I think that's one of the beauties about being a woman, is that we can think in so many different parts of our brain, not one part. We're not linear. We are more like sort of circular, and I love that because that allowed us to embrace who we are, and we can do so many things at once. So we don't have to be put into like these little box. So the reality is that most of the time the answer is right in front of us, but we haven't embraced it. We dismiss it, or we let others dictate who we are. I wanted to share with you some of the questions that I've asked myself, and I continue to ask myself, and take your time to answer those questions and leave your comments if you will. I would love to read your comments. It's always so encouraging. And just give me some examples of new beginnings for you. And I can tell you, I moved from the Dominican Republic. I have started a few things, so I'm going to be sharing that with you. Are you contemplating to start something new, but you're afraid to move forward? Are you stuck because of fear, or just because you've been listening to the naysayers for too long? What is stopping you? And if you were to say yes to this new beginning, what is the worst thing that can happen? Maybe there's nothing. Maybe you can go ahead and move forward to that new beginning, and nothing bad will happen. But there's a disclosure that I want to share with you. Just because I'm saying let's start a new beginning, let's just be clear. Remember that as we seek to move forward into God's given purpose, it is not biblical to do things selfishly. We make these decisions knowing that others will be uplifted by them. If you're causing pain, ruining lives, then there's not God's given purpose. So let's be wise. as we start this new beginning, I will encourage you to think about it. Of course, if you are in a toxic relationship, if you are facing like a life-threatening situation, please look for help. I'm not saying that you have to stay stuck in the same place, but what I'm saying is that when we decide to walk into this new beginning, I am more referring to, these dreams and goals that you have put for yourself, and you just have sort of put it in the back burner just because you're like, oh, well, I don't have time, but you keep going in the same old. When you have an opportunity every single day to move forward. So that's what I'm referring about. For more serious topics, like if you're considering divorce, or if you're considering things that are slightly more dramatic, obviously look for help, pray. And I am not a counselor, I'm not a licensed psychologist, so I just want to disclose that because I don't want you to go ahead and make a decision based on my recommendation or what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, you have a dream. Don't just start a new list of goals and dreams and put it in the back burner and let it just take some dust. What I'm saying is, there is an opportunity for you here in the now to take some actions, to take some steps into that. Everything that we do, especially when it comes to new beginnings, requires some action. Nothing is going to just happen without any action. But if you pray and you start actioning into the dreams that God had put in your heart, believe me, I can guarantee you 100% without fail that dream, if it's God's given purpose for your life, is gonna come to reality. But we have to work for it. In any event, thank you so much for joining me. I hope it has been uplifting. I am looking forward to your comments, to your questions, and please do let me know if in your spiritual life you are in need of a new beginning. Because if you haven't accepted Christ, I can guarantee you that you do. And I am more than happy to pray for you so you can live a God's given purpose life, plentiful and full of peace. Thank you so much for joining, and remember, please like this video, like the other ones if you haven't, subscribe to this channel, and remember to also click the little bell for the notifications. I see you next Monday.